Hello again, for the second part of the 100 sub special. Hopefully this will work well because my laptop's breaking down, and so we'll start off with these next few fights which are still in the kiln. Yeah, if I recall this correctly, this didn't go too well. But yeah, so essentially my laptop's now in the process of breaking down. I've been told it's got a hard drive failure. Every time I boot up it reminds me of that. Yeah, absolutely terrible. And yeah, so it reminds me every time I boot up that I've got this hard drive problem. Then on top of that, it's now going a lot more slowly than it should do, and that also makes it even harder to edit on this thing than it already did, since it already took long enough. Yep. One shot there. In fact, I think if I recall correctly, I fought this person again, and I got a bit more annoyed this time, because this one was actually a bit closer, and was, you know those times when you just miss victory. That's how this fight went to me. I need to really get back into the swing of punishing dark beads, and just because I find myself in a lot of cases. Yes, I managed to land that parry. So it's been a while since I've watched the first ones, because whilst with the last one, the part one, I was able to go through. Yeah, I was able to go through, get all of the clips in, and then I was, then I was able to get it up. Whilst in this case, it's taken a while to actually get all of the pieces together. And yeah, there I thought I'd be able to get in the hit and kill before the dark bead, and they just survived. And if I'd been two-handing, I'd probably have managed to get in the kill, but I didn't. So yeah. So anyways, the first few of these I did like 4 days ago, I think I got into the video, whilst the last ones I only just managed to get in. That being said, also, the preview video's lagging a lot, and quite frankly, I think until I get a new computer, I've either got to do very minimal recording, or I've got to record in 480p. So, unfortunately, so, yeah, this was an interesting person, because I have absolutely no clue how they think based on the two fights I had with them. The next one I had a lot later. So, because obviously they were fighting to a degree like they were a random invader. Yet when I encountered them the second time, they, were being incredibly cautious with everything and actually seemed a bit more honourable. But that might have just been because they had a bit more health until a bit later. Also, in this case, I more or less got them down to that health without doing much at all. So I also have no clue what he was trying to do. He seemed to, constantly be trying to retreat and to get the chance to heal. Either that, or he was trying to wait for me to use up all my endurance, my stamina, sorry, trying to get it. Ah, yes. This guy, Commie Chef, I think he's the person I fought the most in the kiln. And I have no clue what happened there. I'm trying to figure out what on earth happened there, because apparently my scythe suddenly gained the ability to go through shields. So it was either lag from the last hit, which I'm not so sure about because our connection was fine for the most part. And yeah. So yeah. I think I think I lost this one. I can't remember, but if I recall correctly, this one I lost, and then I think this was the only one I lost, if I recall correctly. But Yeah. It did take a while though, apparently. This... Yeah. Yeah. One thing that, yeah, when I see a Hornet animation, after a good fight, it normally annoys me to a degree. Sometimes I'm fine, sometimes I'm not. It sort of depends on the situation, how well I thought the fight was going and stuff. And although a regular backstab would have killed me at that point, it's like I know they have it on at that point, and yeah, then this happened. So yeah, and I don't think they got a Hornet stab on me again. I'm not sure whether that's because they took it off or just because they weren't able to. Ah yes, and here's the core. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, it's obviously the core 3, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced the core. So yeah, he was somebody who I actually was trying to fight as opposed to a random. So we managed to get 2 fights in. Here's the first one. Second one came straight after, and he just destroyed me. Yeah, it's me just... Sometimes when I get... Yeah, I've got used to when my health is low, although this was probably a bit too... that... just that last smidgen of health. I've got into the habit of checking it. Compliments to Happy for that, because because it was mainly from when we were doing the Artorias of the Abyss duels, because we had no HUD, so we were constantly asking about how much HP we were on at the end, and whenever you're on that very small amount of health, it's normally something that I like to see before doing so. But so yes, the second round went more in my favour, and they were both fun. So yes, and here's just one I kept in. Not really a fight, but so yes, I invaded this person, saw they were summoning Phantom, thought the worst, and then Solaire was summoned. So I just left, because yeah, not many people save Solaire because it takes a lot of effort to do so, and most people want his armor. And so we then had a few messages between each other. Okay then. Yes. I think this person is doing a Dark Moon Nitus cosplay. I can't remember what weapon that she does. She does use, but I'm pretty sure that is the right setup. I know that she's got a parrying dagger in the offhand, but not sure about the main hand. So it's but either way, it was a good fight, and yeah, and then it's back to Commie Shep again. It's really hard to commentate over this when it's constantly lagging. I think, yeah, they probably still have the Hornet ring on, considering the fact that they're still going for the backstabs and parries. But yeah, knowing that they've got the Hornet ring on, I'm a lot more careful. And I still really... That was one that I really thought should have hit. Yeah. In a lot of cases... Yeah, this build... yeah, this build has... It was designed for level 100, and I decided that I was going to try and make it able to use magic without being a magic build. Yeah, here's Alexander again. This time I invaded him. But yeah, so and I was originally going for Dark Orb, but then after using Dark Orb, I decided against it. So yes, here I am, very close to death. And I think from the result of 2 backstabs without actually hitting him yet. However, because he keeps going for the backstabs, I was able to get that counterfish, and he doesn't have a lot of HP at all. So yeah, so as soon as I get that one hit on him, he goes into his super defensive mode, even though all he'd have to do is get 1 hit on me to kill me as well. And so try getting him with the Dark Bead, you know, once again, because it's the most effective way to go through shields, since, yeah, I saw him planning on healing, but my Soul Arrow wasn't quite fast enough. But yes, oh yeah, I was also able to use Force and Heal, and I originally had Heal on, but it doesn't heal any reasonable amount. It's like I had to use all my castings to more or less fully heal myself. So I just unequipped that. I kept Force though, because Force is actually still useful. So yeah. This guy probably also needs to learn about poise, because yeah. In fact, poise is and then that finish was just worthwhile. Yes, but I found with because my Dark Bead actually deals less damage than my regular attack, in a lot of cases. Obviously if they've got high physical defense and low magic defense, they will do it the other way around. But it just makes it incredibly useful for piercing shields, because it's magic as opposed to physical. So. And it also is very good because a lot of people who I've fought with this build, as soon as they get to that last small amount of health, they start turtling like mad, to the point where I can just go right up to them, Dark Bead them in the face, and get the kill, because the damage was significant enough to pierce it. So yes, this time I encountered Kami Chef again, and I think this is the last time I fought him, but he said he was hiding, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go find him. And I was looking around, but in the end he found me. Now, this goes on for a little bit of time, because we were just doing some random shenanigans for a while. So, however, I'm slightly regretting it to a degree, because I'll say later in a bit. Hopefully the thing will actually stop having me teleporting around on my screen, so it's like I'm just stood there and moving, because it's essentially a slideshow. So yes, here he comes. He found me first. So and then yeah, he was just trying to do that to me, so I thought I'd just show him that it could be parried. Ah yes, he still had the Hornet Ring on. So he obviously kept going for that grab. I healed up. I need to get more humanity on this build. So, and because of his riposte, his backstab when I shrugged afterwards, I decided to go for the ripostes from that point. So that way he'd have to go off to heal, obviously, rather than being able to go straight for the backstab. So yeah, and yeah, so I'd get the hit in, he'd go off and heal, come back and try and grab my humanity again. However, so yeah, now if you look at my humanity meter, I didn't notice this the first time, because the first time I looked after I'd lost it, so it's like I'm not sure how much I was losing. But he managed to get me a second time, and I noticed I was losing 10, so I lost 20 humanity in this one instance, because I decided to have some fun with this parrying. So, you know, and as much fun as it was, that 20 humanity took a while to get, and at the same time, I've not got much itemized humanity, so yeah, I think this is the one where he gets the parry off again. Sorry, I missed the parry again. So yeah, so this time I noticed, and I actually decided that enough was enough, and it was time to fight. Yeah. Unfortunately for him, because obviously I know he's got the Hornet on, I'm still being cautious when it came to these attacks. And I tried, I usually, actually that's normally what happens when I encounter a parry spammer. He did get the parry there though. Unfortunately, because I'd got the spin hit, he'd already panicked. That time I got the dead angle, so... but yes, when somebody parry spams, what my normal reaction is to do a mix of light and heavy attacks, as well as trying to pace my attacks at some point, so that, they stand there parrying, and instead of getting the parries, they just take the hits. However, that backfires a lot on this build, Bladelust again, because the R1 and R2 attacks from the Silver Knight Straight Sword are too close to each other, and I just kept seeming to get parried again. Yes, now this is a guy who I fought 3 times, I think? 3 or 4 times. So, first one went really well. The other 2 he destroyed me. And it's something I always wonder about whenever I use a mid-rolling build. Or a fat rolling build, is I wonder how it would have gone had I been using the fast roll. Just always something that interests me, since a lot of the times I use mid-roll builds to make things more interesting for myself, because fast roll you can dodge through a lot of things. Mid-roll and fat roll require your timing to be a lot better to pull off the dodge with a roll. And if you're against fast weapons, it's like on a fat roll build, a dagger or a dagger katana. Well, I'm not sure about katana necessarily, but yes, it ended in draw the first time. But long swords, curved swords, anything that is able to swing faster than the recovery from the fat roll is painful to fight against, because they sort of attack you, you roll to dodge it, and then they can just keep attacking. And yeah, here I didn't quite clear out the forest completely, because I was trying to get summoned by Happy again. Got the first one, didn't notice that the second one had been aggroed, so the second one got me. And yeah, I could have healed up, but whenever doing duels like this, unless the other person heals up first, I won't heal in a duel like that if I get hit by a giant, because, well, unless they've aggroed all of the giants, and that's mainly because of the fact that, it's my fault for not clearing out the forest, and so it's therefore my fault if I take the hit. So, the fights with Jamaican was still quite fun, because, well, whilst his weapons didn't change up that much, neither did mine. But, it's also at the same time, yeah, there we go. That's what I mean, is, I can dodge the first hit, but he just needs to make that second swing in order to get the hit. So yes, and here's the third fight. Maybe there's a fourth, I can't remember. I fought him 3 times in this row, but I'm not sure if there's any more in between. And it's teleporting again. Yeah. So, I think the Moonlight Butterfly Pit is the area I revisited the most in... yeah, it's definitely the area I revisited the most, because whilst I was trying to mix up areas, there was some people who are just, because obviously this is just the general dueling area, at least at the moment it is. So yes, and I think he is happy now. Yeah. So because it's a general dueling arena, it was a lot of the fallback places when I was going to fight somebody who was hosting, like, I'm not going to say, I'll leave that for when it comes up, but, and then there's also the cases when, because I kept trying to fight Happy in New Londo. New Londo was the place I wanted to fight Happy, and because I kept not lowering the water, because I still hadn't realised that was what I was doing wrong, I ended up coming back here because, you know, we were able to actually connect here. And I'm still waiting for Happy to fight me with his strength build. He said when I was going to work on this build that I was going to use his strength build. This is one of the cases where I should have checked my health, but I forgot to. But yeah, that was an incredibly lucky swing on my part, and considering yeah, that was just I think Happy probably earns his right back though. He normally finds his way to destroy me. There's like one build. I have one build which is physically designed for well, not sure if physically designed is right. It's an arena build. It's Soul level 200 arena, and it's by far my most try-hard build, but at the same time it was designed to win in the arena in a tournament that's still yet to happen. So yeah, and Happy was my tag team partner in it, so our builds are designed to work together. However, when fighting each other, my build is able to destroy his, because his is a mage build, and mine is a faith build. But my build has Great Magic Barrier, which more or less nullifies half of his stuff, and then on top of that it's also got TWOP, because it's obviously completely fair and balanced and doesn't make the game unfun whatsoever. And actually talking about that, the build combination was so overpowered to a degree, or tryhard to a degree, that we're fighting Mayhem and Frog in the arena after all the 100 sub stuff, but and we were able to consistently beat them with that build. However, in the end, nobody was having fun with it because the builds were just there to win. So, yes, that was all of it with Happy for this time, and here is me making the mistake of going fisticuffs against randoms. Because, you know, even with the Hornet Ring, you still do such a small amount of damage that it's not even worthwhile. And this match did end hilariously though, because this build, I think, is no longer the one with the least amount of HP. I think I've got one build with slightly less HP. But yeah, I died because I thought I could take another hit, and I couldn't. But yes, it's not got a lot of HP because I don't have the... yes. I'm keeping this fight in because I said I'd get all my fights that I did. But, as you can see, it's a glitched fight. So this is probably the only one that I'm going to do that with. Because it's more annoying to see the flickering all over the place than for me to miss a fight. But I'll leave that up to you, because so if you want to see every fight I can do that, if you'd rather me just skip those, because I do have contingency, a number of contingency matches. So yeah, this guy obviously completely destroyed me with that Dark Moon Blade. Yeah, it was all down to a matter of me getting off a parry and managing to get that Hornet post, or me dying, because the weapon was too fast for me to effectively roll BS him, and yeah. And yeah, here's Samseed again. I think that actually, this one we had quite a bit of lag with each other. Well, we did, considering the final blow from my attack. Sorry, the final blow that ended the match. That and the parry. Watch this parry. In a second. Yeah. And then, yeah. So we obviously had a fair bit of lag. But yeah, and then I went, yeah, these were some fun fights in the tomb. I'm nearing the end now, but this person was the first one I got. And the first match went absolutely hilariously, because it was just the perfect scenario. Hornet backstabbed him just before he went up the ladder, got him there, and was able to just kick him off. Second match didn't go quite so well, and you'll see that in a moment. And actually, it annoyed me after these matches, after that first match, because you know, all of these ones were matches where I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. So I managed to get a plunging attack, then I managed to get a parry. And then there goes my health bar. And I forgot to have humanity on my my quick slot bar, so I had to do a hasty retreat and try and heal. But yeah, so essentially that was this match in a nutshell. You know, and it just wasn't very fun to go against someone when, you know, they hit you once with a Hornet backstab with a Black Knight Great Axe, and the next thing you know, your health is gone. Especially considering how it would have gone if I'd used a weapon. But yeah. And now the last two matches for today, and it's against Coldstare, who was Gravelording here, it turned out. And I have fought him, I think, 4 times in total here, but the rest are in others. So, yeah, he got me stuck in a combustion spam, and actually he had a ridiculous number of castings. So yeah, the first match went like that, second match went like this, and the other matches you'll see tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but in the next part, because this is the last one for today. And as I said, these ones, yes, a lot shorter without the arena matches. However, I can't remember if I had more arena matches or not. I may have fought Happy a few times with a build, but so yeah. So this time I knew he was going to try and do that, so I managed to get him here, and and just for that is why, you know, I think that the Tomb of the Giants is actually quite a good place to go, but I'll talk about that more next time, since this is more or less finished. So I shall see you next time.